When Lex Luthor attempts to infiltrate the Fortress of Solitude, this robot tries to fight him off. It's Superman's pet robot. It's kind of an R2 unit type.
It's very expensive.
Yeah.
Talk about the process of how the two of you write together.
I write the vowels, Mike writes the consonants. We merge them together underwater.
Sometimes it comes together.
It was Bryan's idea, and I think we're in total agreement that there's a kind of a canon, an archetypal origin story that was told in Superman 1 about Superman.
And what he's always wanted to do was a sort of semi-sequel to the original Donner film, which would treat the Donner film as the origin, and then you just kind of go from there. What if Superman had disappeared after 6 years?
It let us do so many different things thematically, and his return, what does that mean to him? What does that mean to Lois? What can people do in the time since he's been gone?
He comes back to a world which is more violent. There's more at stake now. The disasters have gotten worse, the crimes have gotten worse. Because Bryan's always open to ideas and always wants to make something better, that he likes to have us around so that when he's shooting the scene, whether it's take 1 or take 15, he can always turn to us and go, should we try this? Everything has to have a certain logic. It's like, where do his powers come from? Well, they come from the yellow sun. What is kryptonite? Radioactive pieces of his home world.
Bryan logic issues with, well, what city are we in? Are we in Metropolis or are we in New York? We're in Metropolis.
You can't just assume that an audience knows exactly how and why these things work and exist. It's like there has to be a scientific logic behind everything.
Well, how does Superman differentiate between the different events around the world that he needs to help out? And we had this idea that he kind of shoots straight up through the sky and goes higher and higher and higher above the cloud layer until he stops, just floating silently high above the earth, just waiting and listening. We'd never really seen it before in a film, because we've worked with Bryan and Guy and Tom now in 3 movies in a row. Pages go from us to Bryan to them, from us to Bryan to them. And by the time we're moving into our second draft, there's all kinds of pictures and amazing things about what we just finished.
You do take certain parts of the characters and you stretch them. I mean, in the comic books, Lois and Clark / Superman are married. Like, they took that convention and they pushed it forward. And this film, Superman comes back to find out that Lois has moved on with her life. It gives your character, Superman, something to confront and possibly grow on, and challenges him.
The best way to describe it is a return story. Superman's returning to the big screen, Superman's returning to Earth in the movie.